Heart rate variability is a metric we use a lot to just make sure that your program and your exercise and all of your efforts towards your health are working. It's basically a check engine light. Let me explain it a little bit more. HRV stands for heart rate variability, and it essentially is a measure of the time space between your heartbeats. Now, higher is better for HRV because it shows a resilience in you or an ability to adapt and react to changes in your environment. And that could be your internal environment, all of your physiological systems, or it could be your external environment, stresses outside of you. Now, it's a measure of the health of your autonomic nervous system. That's a mouthful, so I'm going to start saying ANS every time I refer to the autonomic nervous system from now on. The ANS breaks down into two different things. It's your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Let's talk a little bit about what each of those do. Your sympathetic nervous system is basically your fight or flight or freeze, different pathways that control your stress response. And whenever there is danger, then it will release the right chemicals to make sure that you can respond to those. That's going to keep you on edge. It's going to keep you higher strung and tighter and ready to react to things. Your parasympathetic nervous system is the part of your nervous system that allows you to rest and also to digest. And another thing you can think about with the parasympathetic nervous system is nurture, because that is the state of your nervous system needs to be in so that you can focus on procreation or relaxation or building your home. And if you need to focus in on getting into a place of rest, sometimes it might take something like cleaning out a desk drawer or washing your makeup brushes. Those things can actually benefit you and help to control stress and bring you into a more parasympathetic state. Now, heart rate variability is controlled by the hypothalamus, which is also the system in your brain that controls the endocrine system or your hormone system. So we use heart rate variability as a check engine light for all of your systems, including your hormones. Now, the things that reduce heart rate variability can be poor nutrition, and that could be eating too much processed foods, or it could be eating too little chronically. If you are always on a diet, that will probably reduce your heart rate variability. Alcohol consumption, it immediately slows it down. Dehydration, not drinking enough water, not staying on top of your electrolyte intake, that can decrease heart rate variability. Overtraining or not resting enough in between exercise sessions, lack of good sleep. So if you are having a lot of disrupted sleep or suffering from insomnia, you'll probably notice that your heart rate variability is low. Any kind of stress that could be physical or mental, chronic and acute, is going to cause a reduction of heart rate variability. And the things that improve heart rate variability and increase it also improve your health and your hormone health specifically. So we're looking for balancing exercise and recovery, making sure that you are giving enough time between workouts for all of your muscles to recover, making sure you're getting good quality sleep, making sure you're doing things to manage your stress, and that can be meditation techniques. There actually has been a study done that shows that a type of rhythmic breathing before you go to sleep actually improves your heart rate variability. It can be measured, and I think that's super cool. Just taking some time just to be present, to focus on your breath, is really helpful in managing your stress and also improving your heart rate variability. Making sure you are doing recovery things like mobility training, taking care of your tissues, taking care of your muscles, doing some yoga, getting sun, walking, and I don't mean a fast walk, I mean a nice, slow, relaxing stroll. Those things also increase heart rate variability. And again, what is good for heart rate variability is good for your hormone health and your symptom management. Now, how you know what your heart rate variability is, that data basically comes from your wearable. So I wear an Apple Watch right here. You could also wear an Aura Ring. Fitbit, I believe, has this measurement as well. Garmin watches and even the Samsung watch. All of the wearables that you can get have a way to measure your heart rate variability. And the main thing you're going to need, most likely, is a connected app. With the Apple Watch and the Apple phone, you can download an app that I use called Auto Sleep. It is completely free, and it gives you a good measure every morning of a lot of different things that contribute to the heart rate variability score. And your readiness score. Mainly what you're looking for is just a gauge to see what is going to help. And also you want to make sure that you temper that data with how you feel. So be very objective. I heard a story about an early Whoop user who was an athlete. I think she played soccer. I can't remember. A very elite level athlete. She woke up one day and saw her HRV and her readiness score with the Whoop said, you should take the bench today. In fact, you should consider sleeping in. You are way in the red. Your heart rate variability is very low. This is not a good day. And she's like, well, that's not true. She did a full system check and she recognized that she was very ready to go. And also it was a competition day, so she needed to be able to go. And so she could have let that HRV score get into her head and give her a really bad game and a bad performance. But she knew her body well enough to be able to override that data. And sure enough, she had a really good day. I think she made some records, some higher scoring stuff going on in the game. And she communicated that to Whoop later and said, your algorithm is wrong. And they said, no, it's not. And she said, yeah, your algorithm is wrong. This is what happened. And this is actually how I performed. And so they dug into her data and they recognized, yeah, it is. The algorithm is wrong. And one of the things that we have seen in this space is that some of these algorithms are much better suited to men than they are to women because of the hormonal inputs to the HRV. So declining estrogen is also going to be something that's going to give your HRV a hit. So as we get older, as we go through perimenopause and the menopause transition, your heart rate variability is naturally going to be lower. That's just across the board. As we age, heart rate variability becomes lower. It's not a number to aim for. It is just a gauge. You just want to look for progress and you want to compare it to how you're feeling. So heart rate variability on its own doesn't really give you all the data you need. And to give yourself a really good readiness score, that's what most of the apps call it, you need to combine that heart rate variability with what you know about your body and how you know you are resilient. If you wake up and it says, well, you're good to go, you're in the green, but you feel like crap, and you know that you're fatigued and your muscles ache and your joints hurt and it's hot and you're having a hard time concentrating, that's probably a recovery day, regardless of what your app says. If you wake up and it says, whoa, you need to calm down and you don't need to be doing anything today, your capacity is really low, but you do a full system check and you recognize, well, I feel good, I slept pretty good, I know that I'm hydrated, I know that I'm eating well, and I know that I'm recovered because it's been 72 hours since my last strength training bout. Then just, check it out, see how it feels. It doesn't necessarily mean if your heart rate variability is low that you should not exercise. You need to make sure that you're using the way you actually feel as a gauge.